Welcome. My name is Dave Skandabia. So I am a material is 2025124559. And I'm a phone plus MC88241B. Today I'm gonna to show you about my subtopic which is photosynthesis. I'm prepared for my lecture which is named Technologies Dr. Khadija Abdul Karim for lecture AGR499 crop science. Alright. The introduction to photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the process by which plants convert light energy into chemical energy in the form of sugars that synthesize carbohydrate from the carbon dioxide and water using light energy. Okay, as you can see for the photosynthesis equations, photosynthesis take carbon dioxide and water and with the input of light energy that produce glucose as a sugar and oxygen. This is remarkable to transformation. Okay. For the figure one is process of photosynthesis. When the light is there, the photosynthesis process is involved. When the carbohydrates and, and the carbon dioxide oxygen that go away from the day. Their need is the water because by alright, for the type of photosynthesis, we have two types. For the first is oxygenic photosynthesis. This is common type of the occurring in the plants that produce the oxygen. For example, plants, algae, and cyanobacteria. For the second is anosogenic photosynthesis. They does not produce any oxygens. For example, that occurs in some bacteria that sustain to another types of plants. For the next is site of photosynthesis that we have is chloroplast. Okay, first thing first, what is the chloroplast? Chloroplast is the cell when the unique organism found in the cells of the most plants, particularly abundant in the leaf, which is why leaf are primary site of photosynthesis. What are they? Chloroplast is the and specialized organism within plant cells by containing chlorophylls. The clear pigment is responsible for capturing sunlight during the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so the next is what is their functions? Chloroplast roles is to convert sunlight energy into the chemical energy as that has the glucose through the process of photosynthesis. Okay. For the figure number two, as we look is the chloroplast structure. Next. Okay. The chloroplast structure, we have many type of structure, which is inner membrane, outer membrane, intermembrane space, thylakoid, renum, stroma, and stromal. Okay. First, the outer and the inner, their role is to enclose the chloroplast. By the inside, there are semi-liquid substance, which is we call as the stroma. This aqueous fluid houses many of the enzymes needed to synthesize organic molecules. This is where our dark reactions will occur. Is also suspended within the stroma. A flat called a thylakoid. These are the internal membranes. As you can see, the system where the light is capturing during the reaction happens. For the thylakoids, often into the taken into the structures called grana is singular, is granum. Okay, which increases the surface area for the light absorptions. Within each thylakoids, there are internal space called the lumen. This space is crucial for the photons gradient that drive ATP productions. Alright, as you can see, is figure number four is light dependent reaction that occur with the Kelvin cycles. For the stage of photosynthesis, we have two. Which is for the first one is light dependent reaction. For the second one is light independent reaction. Okay, let me explain of the diagram in the case. For the light dependent reaction, we have thylakoids. Thylakoid that creates oxygen, ATP, and NADPH, while the light independent reaction that consists of stroma that not have any sunlight, that is the dark reaction involved us in the Scalable cycles. Okay, let me explain for the next slides. Right? We are going to the first thing first of the stage of the cycle. We have the light dependent reactions. In the figure 5, light dependent reaction of photosynthesis was occurred in the thylakoid membrane. As we know, the thylakoid membrane is to capture the sunlight that make ATP and produce the NADP ADPH. Okay, the photosystem stage consists of two. That we have the photosystem 2 and photosystem 1. Photosystem 2 are the best by absorbing the light. That crucial role in to oxidize the water, which is H2O hydrogens, which means it splits water molecules by releasing oxygen 02 as a byproduct and producing an electron to the electron transport change. Okay, let me explain for the photosystem 1. This photosynthesis is the most efficient in absorbing light, but it associated with an enzyme that reduces NADP plus to NADPH, that another vital energy carrier. These photosystems are connected by electron transport system, which includes cytochrome complexes. These systems not only creating the proton gradient, but finally the ATP synthase complex, which has an H plus that channel uses these proton gradients to produce ATP at the plant energy currency. Okay, we're going to the next slides. Okay, now we move to the second major stage of photosynthesis, which is the dark reaction, or we call as light independent reaction. Is more famously known as the Calvin cycles. This reaction was take place in the stroma of the chloroplast that fluid the field space outside the thylakoids. As we discussed, they don't directly require light, but they absolutely depends on the ATP and ADPH that were produced during the light dependent reactions. The Calvin cycle is a complete series of biochemical reactions that essentially fix inorganic carbon dioxide CO2 from the atmosphere into the organic sugar molecules. If the light reaction stop producing ATP and NADPH, the Calvin cycle will eventually grind to a half. Okay, let's break the three main steps of these cycles. Let me explain. For the first step is carbon fixations. This begins when a carbon dioxide molecule is attached to a 5C sugar ribulose with biosphate is RUBP. Okay. In this stage, that catalyzed by the enzymes RUBP carboxylase rubisco. This produces the reactions is unstable for 6 carbon compound that immediately splits into two molecules of 3 phosphorylcheric acid 3-PGA. Okay, for the next second stage is reduction and production of sugar. The second step process that couples ATP hydrolysis with the reductions of 3-phosphoglycerate to the 3-phosphate 3GP. Okay. In this stage, enzyme of the propholates adds a phosphate 3-phosphate by transferring a phosphate from the ATP. This produce is 1,2,3 bisphosphorate and the electron from the NADPH reduce the carboxyl group of the 1,2,3 bio for pogylcerate to glycerolidal 3-phosphates. Okay. For the next is two molecule of the glycerolate 3-phosphate was produced. Only one will be used to make glucose. The other is used to regenerate RBP. Okay, we as the past we set the regenerate RBP. For the last stage is regeneration of RUPP. This rearrange the carbon skeleton of 5 the 3-phosphates molecules into 3 RUPP molecules. This reaction requires 3 ATP molecules and they needs to have 3 molecules of carbon dioxide 6,3G3P are produced. Only one can be counted as a net gain. The other 5 are used to regenerate with the 3 molecules of RUBP. RUBP is thus regenerated to become the cyclobutane. As we call is the successfully for the process of Kevin cycles by F3 carbon. Yeah. Carboxylation, reduction and production of sugar, regeneration of RUBP that complex. Okay, for the we are going to the last one is importance. Okay, the importance of Kelvin cycles. We have 3GP as the glyceryl 3-phosphate can be converted to many other molecules. For the second is the hydrocarbon skeleton of 3GP can form as the fatty acid and glycerol to make plant oils. Fatty acid and glycerols, the roles which are then used to create plant oils important for energy storage and membrane structure. For the second is glucose phosphate as the simple sugar. This sugar that can be directly used for energy for the further converted. Okay, for the third is fructose. Fructose is the combine of sucrose and also phosphate, which when combined with the glucose from sucrose, the primary sugar transported throughout the plant to fuel growth in the different tissues. For the number 4 is starch and cellulose. Starch, their role is to complete the carbohydrates used for long-term energy storage, like in tuber or seeds, while the cellulose is another complex carbohydrate that form the rigid cell walls of plants by providing the structural supports. For the last, we have the amino acid. This building the block of protein which are vital for the enzymes. Are important because this the Kevin cycle is what will occurs in the photosynthesis process. All right, that's all from me. Thank you for the attentions and support from our friends and lecturers. Thank you. Have a nice day.